In the earliest days of the world, when humanity barely had fire to keep the darkness away, there were watchers, beings of light, guardians sent to observe, not interfere. But curiosity is a dangerous thing, even for angels. One night, the sky tore open, and they descended like burning stars. The mountains shook, the air split, and the world changed forever. They stood among us, tall, radiant, impossible. And they shared secrets no human was meant to hold. Metal, magic, power. From their knowledge came brilliance and corruption. And from their rebellion came giants. Creatures too large for the world that birthed them. This is the story of how heaven fell and what rose from its ashes. The children of the Watchers did not grow like men. They grew too fast, too strong, too hungry. They were called the Nephilim, giants, born from heaven's rebellion. At first the world fed them, then the animals vanished. When the food ran out, they turned on humanity. Cities fell, fields were crushed beneath their feet. And when the giants began to fight each other, the earth itself began to break. Their bodies would not last, but their spirits would. When the Nephilim died, something remained, something restless, something angry. And as the world drowned in violence, heaven finally turned its gaze back to earth. Judgment was no longer a question. It was a countdown. They were not sent to rule humanity. They were not sent to touch it. They were sent to watch. Before the flood, before the law, before the world learned how to forget. There were beings known as the Watchers. According to Enoch, they were angels appointed to observe humanity from the heavens, to guide from a distance, to remain unseen. But something changed. 200 of them descended to earth, not by mistake, not alone. They came with intention. Led by one called Simjaza, the Watchers gathered and made a pact. They feared the punishment for rebellion, but they feared standing alone even more. So they swore an oath together. They took human wives. They crossed a boundary that was never meant to be crossed. And from that union, something unnatural was born. Their children were neither fully angel nor fully human. They were called the Nephilim, giants. They grew beyond measure, beyond restraint, beyond mercy. They devoured the earth's harvest, then its animals, then its people. The cries of humanity rose like smoke, but the destruction didn't stop there. The Watchers gave humanity forbidden knowledge, secrets not meant for human hands, weapons of war, enchantments and sorcery, the movements of the stars, the manipulation of life itself. Knowledge without wisdom, power without obedience. The earth became violent, corrupted, unrecognizable, and heaven took notice. That is when Enoch enters the story, not as a king, not as a warrior, but as a messenger. The fallen Watchers, terrified of judgment, turned to him. They asked Enoch to do the impossible, to speak on their behalf, to plead their case before God. They believed that if anyone could walk between heaven and earth, it was the man who already walked with both. But Enoch would soon learn something they did not. Forgiveness was not what awaited them. Judgment was already written. The Watchers asked for mercy. What they received was a sentence.